everybody, it's Debra Poneman, founder of Yes to Success, where we offer knowledge and tools for you to live your ultimate life, ageless, anti-aging for your brain, body, and future, and awake, because it's time for all of us to experience true spirituality and become awakened human beings. So I'm coming to you today live from Seattle, more precisely, Snoqualmie, Washington, where I'm visiting my daughter and her wonderful husband and my gorgeous granddog. And oh my gosh, yesterday I went to the Chihuly Glass Museum for the first time. It was incredible. Like, just blew my socks off. You've got to go there, put it on your bucket list. And also the Museum of Pop Culture. They had this amazing Jimi Hendrix exhibition and a Nirvana exhibition, which was kind of cool because, as I've told you before, my brother-in-law was the co-founder of Sub Pop, the Seattle sound. And yeah, you could look him up, Jonathan Poneman. And anyways, it was cool to see him in the exhibit. I mean, not him physically, but because he's in LA this weekend, but see him in the exhibit. Anyway, so you've noticed that I don't often promote particular books or programs, but I just read a book by Dr. Erica Chopich, and it's called Real Angels Don't Have Wings, where she shares this a really wild story of how she was a very straight-laced psychologist, not into anything woo-woo, and how she resisted when her master teacher appeared to her in non-physical form one night, and she was like, excuse me, but you have the wrong woman. Goodbye. But the master teacher persisted, and about how her journey unfolded as she ultimately accepted her master teacher as her guide and even introduced others to their own master teachers. Anyway, I love the whole book, but the reason why I'm talking about is that I especially found useful how she teaches us how to get in touch with our own master teacher, and also the last sections where she shared just like snippets from her master teacher and other people's master teachers. So I thought that this Saturday I would share some of the knowledge, which was, well, in a way, it isn't anything that we don't already know, but sometimes you hear something in different words and it just gets you. It's like, oh, that's the truth. Well, it happened to me so many times during this book. So I decided that I wanted to. And by the way, it's not only the master teachers, but she also shared her commentary, which also made an impact on me. So I thought, okay, I have to share some of this with my Success Saturday community. So here I go. And she covers different categories, like, for example, food. Okay, so on food, the master teacher said, since foods have a frequency like everything else, a person will find foods that are harmonic to them and foods that create dissonance. Some foods raise your frequency and some lower it. For example, sugar, alcohol, and tobacco definitely interfere with the pineal gland's ability to raise frequency. And then Erica adds, I have found that food plays an important role in my ability to see the teachers. When I know that I will be reading for someone, I take particular care to eat cleanly. Foods that contain sugar or preservatives cause me to struggle to raise my frequency. As a result, the teachers can appear wavy and unclear. And I think it's just a confirmation of what I teach in Ageless. And one of my favorite quotes from myself is, when do you think you're going to get clear communication from spirit? When you just had a glowing, beautiful organic salad from the garden, or a green drink, or when you just had a big fat steak and a pitcher of beer? You decide. Okay, on health from the teachers. On, here we go. This is a good one. Almond oil has a very high frequency and is very deflective. Used on the chakras, especially on the solar plexus, it can protect you from absorbing another's negative energy. And for me, I have to tell you, this is kind of funny. Years ago, I used to do volunteer work in a women's prison, and we would do almond oil self massage in the morning before we would leave for the day. One of the women in our volunteer group, it might have even been Dr. Sue Mortar, she was in that group with me, but somebody told us that we should do this almond oil massage and it would protect us from the very intense energy inside the prison. It's also really good to put on after being somewhere that tends to have intense vibrations, or even after an argument or another stressful situation. I know a lot of people like they'll take a bath and Epsom salts, but also almond oil, especially on the chakras. So here's another good one from the master teacher. Some conditions of the body are not there to be cured, but are there as a reminder to be humble enough to ask for help and gracious enough to receive it. I love that. Another from the master teachers. What wounds you bring from childhood can be healed. Healing does not mean praying for the light or asking the light to come to you and thereby heal your wounds. Healing takes place only by remembering that you are the light. The concept of needing the light to come to you indicates that you believe that you are sitting in darkness. The truth that heals is knowing that you are the light. Good, huh? And then Erica adds, I believe that all therapeutic modalities that exist cannot heal in a way that this one statement can. The idea that we are in fact light addresses the issues of love, value, personal responsibility, victimization, and self worth, the very issues that cause us so much pain. People who believe that they are the way they are because of their childhood rather than because of their current choices are locked inside a prison of erroneous beliefs. Remembering your oneness with God and following that role model heals more than anything. Next, on spirituality, the teachers say, it is spirituality, not religion, that connects one to God. Religion is a passive connection, while spirituality is an active, interactive connection. Think about that one. Another from the teachers. One never has to worry about the outcome of things. It is your teacher's job to manage the outcome. Faith is in knowing that the outcome will be for your highest good, even if you don't get the outcome you want. Sounds like what we discuss in my weight course. Disappointment is only a sign that you cannot see the best outcome for yourself. You must trust that what isn't apparent will become apparent if you'll only wait. Be patient. Looking to the past is the source of pain and frustration, while looking to the future helps you to create the movement in your life that your teacher can assist you with. So, in order to have happiness, you must create it in the present and trust the outcome your teacher has charge of. Here's another one. You cannot manipulate or teach another to face their unlovingness. You have to love them into self-awareness. And then Erica gives a commentary on that one. This means that trying to get another to change doesn't work and isn't loving. By becoming more loving ourselves, we create an environment in which a person may feel safe enough to look in the mirror. There are no guarantees and they may never look, but in any case, we have moved ourselves to a higher level of growth. However, to become more loving in order to get someone to change is the highest form of manipulation. Wow. And finally, one more. One cannot become a spiritual teacher until they have surrendered their will to God's will. Understanding God's will for you is the primary purpose of growth. So, just a few things for you to think about over the next week. And it's just a taste of what I learned from Real Angels Don't Have Wings. And now I'll say goodbye to all of you angels until next week. Sending love to you.